Alright, so it's been a minute. I've been adjusting to my new schedule with school and everything, trying not to fall behind classes too quickly. But anyway, there was one thing that happened over the weekend, or maybe it was like last week, that this was announced, but I've been meaning to rant about it, and that's the new re-releases of all the DC movies. Now, my first reaction when I saw all this, that they were releasing this collection, this 5-movie collection, and giving new prints to these movies that have already come out, right? They're going to give them all new covers and put them on store shelves all across the world. And my immediate gut reaction was, motherfuckers. Like unbelievable bullshit, right? And then, I sat with it for a while and started to think more and more about it. And what I see with this, collection that they're coming out with and how they're rebranding DC to the new DC logo, because that's like the main feature. Other than the blank white backgrounds to all the cases, right? You have the new DC logo on it. And if you remember Man of Steel and BVS, they have the old DC logo from like 2011, which is my favorite logo. I know people are huge fans of the Star DC logo, and that one's fine. But I was a real big fan of the page-turning logo. How, the logo would come on screen and the page would turn to reveal the DC. And I thought that was really cool. I thought it was reminiscent of the comics, got you thinking of the comics. I thought it was a really good idea. But, people, bitched about it so much that they had to change it back to the classic just DC in a circle, And that's probably the main reason why they're re-releasing all these covers, is because they want to put the new DC logo on these films. And they're trying to milk every last penny out of these films right now. And this actually gives me hope that they will release a Snyder Cut. They just want to milk as much money out of these theatrical cuts as possible. And for all the people saying they would never re-release, a movie because it didn't make $1 billion or something, well, here's your answer. They're re-releasing 5 films, and there's no real reason to re-release it right now, but they're doing it anyway. And I wonder why they're releasing the same films again. Other than the rebranding, they probably want to get as much money out of it as possible before they announce a Snyder Cut or release a Snyder Cut, They were probably planning on doing this rebranding and re-release of these movies months ago, Probably when Walter Hamada was hired. That was probably the time when they decided to do this rebranding thing. But the thing is, does the Zack Snyder Cut fit into the rebranding? It might not, and that might be the reason why they're not releasing the Snyder Cut. That might be the reason why it hasn't happened yet. And there was some rumor going around that they didn't want to release the Snyder Cut because they were going to use the same Cyborg scenes in the Cyborg solo film. But, they haven't even announced the Cyborg solo film. We don't even know if they're going to make that film. So why would they save something for a film they have no idea if they're going to make or not? What would be the problem with releasing Zack Snyder's version of Justice League? Other than, the dark side cliffhangers. What in the movie changes the DC universe? Just looking at the movie, it doesn't seem like a lot would change the universe. It seems like a very simple story, and it seems like Zack Snyder's movie was going to be roughly the same thing, with the 3 mother boxes and Steppenwolf. We just would have got more detail, It would have been a 3-hour movie, and we would have had more detail. What's the problem with that? Why can't they release that? But knowing that they're re-releasing these films, it does give you hope that they have no problem re-releasing a movie, And they would have no problem releasing a Snyder Cut of Justice League. But now, since they're releasing these new versions, these new covers, they're going to have to wait a while before they release the Snyder Cut. People are saying October we might get something about the Snyder Cut. And, I'm not going to put much stock into that. I'll just be happy when they release the Snyder Cut, when they announce it, whenever they announce it. I'm not going to be waiting for them to announce it, though. I wrote my letter. I'm going to be sending it soon. I want to type it out, too, so I want to print out another copy and send it because my handwriting is pretty atrocious. But, we have a lot of people sending these letters. Warner Brothers gets the message. They know that a lot of people will buy this. And now that they're rebranding and re-releasing all the movies, it kind of sets back the Snyder Cut even more, which sucks. And it's complete horseshit how they could, like, totally invest millions of dollars into re-releasing all these films and not put a cent into the Snyder Cut. Or maybe they have already, and they're just waiting to announce it. I don't know. All I know is that we're not going to hear about the Snyder Cut for a while. But on the other hand, them doing these re-releases gives us the impression that Warner Brothers has no problem re-releasing a movie, you know? And they really don't. They've released several different versions of Watchmen, you know, different versions of Sucker Punch, different versions of BVS and Suicide Squad. They have no problem putting out different versions of the same film, you know? This is Warner Brothers we're talking about. They'll do anything to make a quick buck. And if they want to continue with this rebranding thing, the Snyder Cut of Justice League can just be its own thing in its own universe. It doesn't have to connect to the other movies at all. They could do that. That's fine with me. Call it the alternate cut, you know? But yeah, it is frustrating that, you know, they have the gall to release the same movies again, just with a different cover, but we can't get any information about the Snyder Cut. They won't say a fucking word about it. But they'll re-release all their films that they already had released. You know, they just released Justice League on Blu-ray in March, and now they're gonna re-release it in, like, what, August or something? When do these fucking new versions come out? I think they come out, like, this month or next month or something. So not even, like, a year after they released Justice League on Blu-ray, they're gonna re-release the same movie again. It's kind of ridiculous that they'll do this before the Snyder Cut. But, you know, we got the letters going to them. They already know that we all want it, so. But, you know, I'm not going to be, like, checking Twitter every day, you know, for when's that release coming? You know, I'm just going to go about my life, and then one day it's just going to happen, you know. Hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than, like, 2 years later, you know. But anyway, that's it for now. Just wanted to get my thoughts about the re-release of the DCEU movies. And that's it for now. Comment below and let me know what you think about it. I know I'm like a week late on this, but you know, I should be getting back on track soon. And hopefully you all had a great week, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright?